This is an explanation of my theory of panpsychism. Assuming that consciousness is the foundational element of reality, then it seems to follow that consciousness and energy are interchangeable. As the words of the poem, "The Primal Dream," flowed into my mind in 1974, I wrote, "Energy and thought, inseparable, conceived the primal dream." The above illustration is in the shape of the current graphic representation of the universe. Everything within the universe consists primarily of waves. The waves have particle potential and can result in matter. The original creative observer is consciousness itself, which historically has been called the Logos, by Greek philosophy, Hermeticism, and Christianity. Consciousness created individual conscious agents through sacred geometry. These conscious agents are integral to all of the dimensions, and yet, the sum of conscious agents is greater than the individual parts. When I speak of conscious agents, I think of them similarly to Dr. Donald Hoffman in his book, A Case Against Reality. This leads to the paradox of pantheism and panentheism. Both are true, as the Kabbalion states in the principle of polarity. All truths are half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. The way it is resolved is in the truth that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, which is pantheism, and the individual conscious agents are a part of the whole, co-creators, and that is panentheism. To what purpose, you may ask? I like a variation of how Dr. Hoffman answers the question, what is consciousness up to? It is answered in a YouTube video. A Donald Hoffman quote from his YouTube lecture on the Weekend University channel entitled, "Is Reality an Illusion?" It begins at roughly 1 hour 13 minutes and 38 seconds into the video. Quote, "If we start with consciousness being fundamental, then there is an interesting question. That is, what is consciousness up to and why? What is consciousness doing right? And when we think about consciousness inside space and time, we often think about it in terms of evolutionary theory, and we say maybe consciousness helps you to survive somehow. Maybe it's an accident, but now we can think differently. Space and time are not fundamental. Evolutionary theory is not fundamental. Consciousness itself is fundamental. So, what is consciousness up to? I don't know, but I have only found one idea that is deep enough so far to take the idea seriously. I'm not saying it is right, but it's at least deep enough to be interesting and to take seriously. Kurt Gödel, around 1930, proved what are called incompleteness theorems. What Gödel discovered was that effectively, the exploration of mathematical truths is unending. There is no way to be omniscient about mathematical truths, and what's interesting about that idea then, is that if consciousness is fundamental and consciousness is all there is, then mathematics, consciousness, and that endless exploration of mathematics is endless, then that means that exploration of the possible varieties endless and is exploring. It's a theorem that will never stop. And so maybe that is what consciousness is up to. It is constantly exploring itself. So what's happening right now? Where we go, we talk, we have questions, we have lectures, and so forth. This is just consciousness in space, using space-time as a virtual reality, exploring one of many, many different possibilities, worlds in which there are attended spaces. Dimensions of space is irrelevant, there is no dimension. I am not a mathematician, and if you want to accuse me of trying to turn science into woo, go ahead. What I am writing here is intuitive. However, it resonates deeply with me, and I believe that it is correct. So let me explain the above quote in more spiritual and mystical terms. I do not think this explanation is incompatible with Hoffman's far more scientific explanation. Consciousness is knowledge. The ancient Greeks called it gnosis. However, knowledge lacks something. What, you may ask? It lacks experience. Knowledge is awareness of all the potential. It is aware of possibility. Experience completes knowledge. One cannot truly understand love without experience. Nor can one know pain without experience. One can know it exists, but only through experience does it become complete knowledge. We participate in the divine nature in order to complete knowledge with our experience. The possibilities are endless and infinite. One could say that we are God experiencing creation. This is not limited to one life in one plane. Quite the contrary. However, we are also able to rest at will. I do not see reincarnation as a karmic hamster wheel that one is trapped on. It is not a punitive alternative to purgatory or hell. We all, in an egalitarian fashion, based upon our choosing, experience joy and pain, good and evil. The unified field of consciousness, the all, God if you prefer, is the eternal present. As Eckhart Tolle states, it is the now. Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be changed. I think that the best illustration of what I am saying is that it is similar to a video game. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. You can get tired, even exasperated, so that you put the game down only to become refreshed, perhaps bored, and you pick the game up and try again. Experiential knowledge is ever increasing as we alternate between being whole consciousness to conscious agents and back and forth. If you find this interesting, please like, subscribe, share and comment. Thanks for watching.